Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community. We've been doing so every weekday since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Monday, February 9th, 2026. That is a whole lot of Torah. Bruce and Penny, it's good to see you. Penny, thank you, my friend. It's broadcast 1487. Neil and Jonathan, Safta Stieber, Bensi and Lydia, Cecile and Valerie, good morning. It's good to see all you. Hi, Arlene. I hope that you and yours are safe and well. Let's say a few good mornings to each other. We'll get started with a bracha, learn some Torah. Eileen and Debbie, Barry, Bensi, John, good to see you. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Deborah. Nice to see you too. Let's see who else is here. Rita and Arlene, Rosa and Linda, Natalie and Judy, Boker Tov, my friends. Kate and Debbie. Hi, Amy. Nice to see you too. Hi, Amy. Okay, let's take a breath. We'll sing a bracha. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Jack. And Siona. Nice to see you. Let's learn some Torah, and we'll share in the learning. Our good friend John Horowitz is in D.C., where he's gathering with Hillel professionals seeking to become better Israel educators. Amazing. I can tell you there's a great new book that's coming out from David Breifman that you should all look out for. Trust me. It'll be out probably in 2 months. Okay. Hi, Robin. Hi, Barbara. Cynthia, good to see you. Hi, Ron. Okay, bracha time. Let's take a breath. Yai lai 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 lai, diddy yai lai lai lai, diddy yai lai 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 lai, ai ai la lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah la'asok b'divrei Torah hafoch ba והפוך בה לעסוק בדברי תורה. דדי אי לי 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 לי, דדי אי לי לי לי, דדי אי לי 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 לי, אי אי לי לי. Good morning, friends. It's good to see you. Welcome to broadcast 1487. Before I begin, 2 notes just to remind everyone. This week there will not be a broadcast on Friday. I'm going to be traveling to Australia to visit with family and also to bring words of greeting. And so, friends, please pay close attention. In case you are wondering where the broadcast went, Friday there will not be a broadcast. And during my time in Australia next week, most likely the schedule will be a little bit different. Please visit the UJA Facebook page for updates and visit my Instagram feed for updates there too. It's good to see everyone. One last note, I will be privileged to bring with me this collection called We Will Prevail, Jewish Responses to Bondi Beach. I was so grateful to be able to speak to my brother-in-law, Arsen Ostrovsky, who wrote the foreword to this book, who, as you know, was wounded in the attack on Bondi Beach the first night of Hanukkah. It's what prompts this specific visit. And I asked him what he thought I should tell people. What could I say in his name? And he said, evil will not triumph, we will prevail. And that is the name of this book. I edited it with many voices from Australia and around the Jewish world. And the foreword was written by my beloved brother-in-law, Arsen Ostrovsky. I cannot wait to hug him, my sister Tzira, and their daughters. I will bring you with me and share as much as I can. In fact, they haven't yet seen the book, and so we're going to have a live unboxing of the books that have now been delivered to them. They're waiting for me. And I am so proud, friends, to represent all of you and to bring support and solidarity to the Jewish community in Australia in the name of UJ Federation of New York and our community. Proud to channel all of that forward, and I hope to do one broadcast probably at a very different hour from Bondi Beach itself. Stay tuned. Let's learn some Torah today. It's Parshat Mishpatim, the Torah portion that follows Revelation. And it's fascinating because Revelation, Parshat Yitro, last week, is immediately followed by a parsha about legislation. You would think from the peaks, from the enormous cosmic significance of Mount Sinai, it would continue at some high level of inspiration and revelation, transformation, transcendence, but it becomes incredibly earthy. It becomes so grounded because Parshat Mishpatim is a litany of laws. It seems like an eclectic collection of societal laws, and it isn't the same as direct revelation. These laws are about God forbids, like kidnapping or stealing or attacking or hurting. The rules of torts and civil law really do have their roots in sources like this. But one of the things that's important, and it's a little bit strange to teach us in the context of Torah, but is to wonder what influenced the construction of Torah itself. I've said this before. One of the most important appreciations of Torah we can have is to remember that it wasn't alone in the construction of society in the ancient Near East. And so to hear the language of Mishpatim and to have enough knowledge to have learned things like the law code of Hammurabi, that at least chronologically appeared first. And then you compare the two, you understand that what Torah's significance is not just that it's our heart, that it's our heart, it's our sacred center. We kiss Torah when it walks around. We learn Torah as we grow as a Jewish community. We teach Torah and its values around the world. But Torah is also a response itself to the material and to the teachings and to the approaches that existed before Torah. What's one of the places where this is most clear? Here, Parshat Mishpatim. Our Torah portion includes the rules of what happens when one person wounds another. In fact, in the law code of Hammurabi and in Parshat Mishpatim and in other traditions, there is an approach of law called lex talionis, eye for an eye. In Hebrew, ayin tachat ayin. Now the Torah itself says an eye for an eye, which means if I, God forbid, injure someone and they lose the function of their eye or their eye, my obligation then is to give my own eye or that kind of recompense, a direct correlation. If an eye for an eye is taken literally, that's what it means. But we've never followed through with that particular approach because the larger unfolding of Jewish law tells us that it's all about restitution. How do we approximate the damage and the value of a wound? Well, that's torts. The whole practice, if there are any lawyers today on our broadcast, the whole practice of law is about understanding how to quantify injury and bring justice. Well, in this case, the Torah itself is a revolution, because what is it to understand the difference between the law code of Hammurabi and the Torah as response? The law code of Hammurabi has its own version of an eye for an eye, but the strata of society is taken into account. What's your status? If a noble person wounds a servant or a slave, and the slave loses function of their eye, perhaps the owner or the noble person gives them money or sets them free. If a slave or a servant, someone of a lower status, wounds a noble person, the lower status person who did the wounding dies, which tells you that the damages and notion of justice is based on the status you occupy in society, not for the Torah. The Torah actually does not differentiate between who you are when the worth of your pain is adjudicated. Said more simply, justice is justice in Mishpatim. We are all equal. No one is above anyone else, and everyone's pain matters. That might sound so obvious to you and to me, but as Rosa just said, the Torah shows that every human life is valuable, and that is not the way other ancient texts and codes reflected notions of justice. We should be proud that our Torah is in response to other traditions, because in fact we can see the trajectory that it wants us, the Torah wants us to be on. If notions of justice before Torah are down here, I'll try to put it in the screen for both. The Torah has you going here, and if you want to be true to the Torah, you can't stop where the Torah stopped. You watch that trajectory move, and the application of justice takes into account everyone in circumstances the Torah could never have understood. The trajectory of the Torah, as encoded earlier than this parsha, says Torah Achat, one Torah, for the Ezrach and for the Ger, for the citizen and for the stranger. We would call those immigrants. One notion of justice. Not parallel systems, not differentiated treatment, no elevated status when it comes to the question of justice. Every human life is precious. And that indicates to us the preciousness itself of Torah. What is it to live as part of this revolution? It is to understand that justice must continue to grow as our understanding of humanity does too. We should never see someone different because of their different circumstance. We should never wound someone and take it lightly. Everyone's life, everyone's body, everyone's dignity is equal according to this parsha. How important it is for us to take that seriously, to judge the world by that standard, to judge leaders by that standard. Anyone who suggests that it doesn't matter if this person is hurt, not as much as this other kind of person, well, that's not a Torah perspective. The Torah tells us, ayin tachat ayin, all of our eyes look the same, don't they? When you look past the circumstance, the color, the orientation, where I'm born, what language I speak, just look at my eye. That's a human eye. Everyone's eye is precious. Every eye is precious. Let's send our hearts to the east and sing, friends. Kol hod balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvatenu hatikva bat shnot alpayim liot am chofshi be'arzenu eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim liot am chofshi be'arzenu eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.